Awareness tools. Tool: the self-analysis of my factors. Duration: 1 hour. The objective of the tool is to carry out an individual analysis to determine the factors linked to addictions. This analysis includes sensitive questions. Therefore, it is important to mention youngsters in advance that all answers will be kept by themselves. Encourage them to make deep reflections and respond sincerely. Step 1. Answer the following questions to determine the predisposing factors that surround you. Do you often experience difficulties in managing your feelings and emotions? Are you frequently engaged in conducts that ignore societal norms or rules? Do you encounter frequent obstacles in many academic tasks? Do you hold positive beliefs or attitudes towards the use of drugs? Are you frequently involved in risk-taking activities? Do you find yourself under problematic temperament? Do you often experience feelings of being insufficient? Do your parents or caregivers have inconsistencies in educating you, rules, consequences, etc.? Were your parents or caregivers authoritative in their approach to raising you? Were you barely or never able to work with your parents in your cognitive development? Did your parents or caregivers fail to establish clear limits for you? Were there instances where your parents neglected their responsibilities towards you? Did you experience challenges forming strong emotional bonds with your parents and family members? Have you witnessed constant discord or violence among your parents? Do your parents misuse psychoactive substances? Have you experienced breakdowns in your family structure? Have you observed psychological issues affecting your parents? Have your parents been involved in criminal activities? Have you been separated from any family member? Have you experienced an important bereavement in your life that you cannot recover? Did you spend any part of your childhood in an institutional setting, for example, an orphanage? Do you frequently struggle with social challenges? Have you experienced any form of abuse, emotional, physical, or verbal, that you have not been able to recover from? Have you ever felt any form of pressure, especially from peers, to consume substances? Do you believe there are benefits in using drugs? Do you think that the misuse of substances can help to manage negative emotions? Have you ever been violated or mistreated by your peers or any other person? Do you tend to rely on external influences to regulate your emotions? Step 2. Answer the following questions to determine the maintaining factors that could trigger an increase in your substance misuse. In case that you have never crossed this step, imagine that you have consumed before, so you can assess how easily this could escalate in your life. Have you experienced any health issues as a result of your drug consumption? Do you have family members who refuse to acknowledge your drug use as a problem? Is there indecision within your family about addressing your drug-related issues? Is your family dealing with this problem for the first time? Do you come from a family where drug use is prevalent, reinforcing attitudes of substance abuse? Do your parents tolerate your substance consumption? Do your parents hold favorable opinions towards drugs? Do your parents have inaccurate information about drug misuse? Do your parents have signs of low self-esteem? Do your parents struggle with confidence in your relationships with others? Are you part of a group that consumes drugs? Do you have close friends who are consumers? Are you involved in conflictive social environments? Have you used drugs with the specific intention of achieving certain goals? Do you face limited opportunities for employment? Have you experienced a high level of crime within your social environment? Have you participated in criminal or illegal activities? Step 3. Answer the following questions to determine if the protective factors can help you recover, maintain a healthy development, or halting further deterioration. Do you consider yourself to be in good physical health? Would you say you have a high level of intelligence? Do you find yourself utilizing mature defense mechanisms when facing challenges? Are you confident in your ability to accomplish tasks and overcome obstacles? Do you believe you possess good moral character? Do you tend to approach situations with optimism? How would you rate your self-esteem? Is it generally high? Does your family acknowledge and actively seek to address your drug abuse? Is your family receptive to and compliant with treatment plans? Has your family faced similar challenges in the past and successfully addressed them? Do you feel a strong and secure bond with your parents or caregivers? Are your parents actively involved in your life? Does your family engage in open dialogue? Would you describe your parents as assertive role models? Does your family have structured dynamics? Are your family members adaptable to various situations? Are your parents able to handle various challenges? Do your parents possess effective strategies for managing stress and difficult circumstances? Do your parents use mature mechanisms during times of adversity? Have you experienced a positive and supportive educational environment? Are there minimal sources of stress within your family environment? Do you have a strong and reliable social support network? Would you say your family has a good socioeconomic status? Step 4. Count the number of yes answers, where each of them will sum 10 points. Write the number of points per factor type. Predisposing factors. Done it. Points. Maintenance factors. Points. Protective factors. Points. Step 5. Analyze your results, where the score is. Predisposing factors, 0 to 90 points. Low, 100 to 180 points. Medium, 190 to 280 points. High. Maintenance factors, 0 to 50 points. Low, 60 to 100 points. Medium, 110 to 160 points. High. Protective factors, 0 to 80 points. Low, 90 to 160 points. Medium, 170 to 230 points. High. How to analyze your score? When your predisposing factors are low, there is a little risk that you could be involved in substance consumption. However, keep your eyes open and do not get influenced to take this huge step. Predisposing factors are high and maintenance factors are low. There is a scenario which suggests that individuals have a heightened susceptibility to developing addictions. However, there are some factors present that can reduce these tendencies once substance misuse begins. Predisposing and maintenance factors are high. The risk of addiction escalation is significantly amplified. In this situation, individuals not only possess vulnerabilities that make them start consuming, they also face several obstacles in breaking free from the cycle of addiction due to the presence of aggravating factors. Predisposing factors are high and protective factors are low. The risk of addiction escalation remains elevated. The absence of protective factors leaves individuals without the necessary resources to mitigate or counteract these tendencies, potentially leading to the exacerbation of addictive behaviors. Predisposing factors and protective factors are high. The probability of addiction escalation is reduced. The presence of robust protective factors helps individuals to think twice before starting consuming or addressing their behaviors. However, it is important that consumers apply constant effort in their treatments. Step 6. Review all the yes answers that you had in the predisposing and maintenance factors. Think about different strategies that you could apply, so in the future, you can answer no. These mechanisms will reduce your possibilities of getting involved in a never-ending circle. Tool: the construction of the tower, the construction of the life. Duration: 1 hour. The objective of the tool is to raise awareness about how a person with addictive problems can affect the society. Step 1. Divide your learners into different groups. It is important that you do not tell your learners the activity's main objective. Step 2. Select 1 volunteer per 2 groups. This means that if you have 6 groups, you will need 3 volunteers. Step 3. Provide your groups with different materials so they can construct towers, for example, cards, wood plastic bricks, wooden popsicle sticks, etc. Each group should have the same materials to keep similar opportunities for winning. Step 4. Tell your volunteers in secret their main role. None of the groups should listen. Volunteers will have to act as if they were under the effect of a drug and will try to destroy the towers, distract participants, etc. Assign to each volunteer 2 specific groups. Step 5. Ask your groups that they will have 15 minutes to construct a tower. They should not use glue. The highest tower will win. Do not give more details or clues so they can develop group creativity. Step 6. Start the round. It is important to observe the bad behaviors and messages from the group to the volunteers. Step 7. Review the towers and identify the winner. Step 8. Make the round again without the participation of the volunteers. Step 9. Review the towers and identify the winner. Step 10. Make the following reflections as a group. How did you feel while constructing the tower in the first round? How did you feel in the second one? How was the tower's construction procedure in both rounds? Which round was easier and why? How were the tower's results in both rounds? In which round the tower was better? Imagine that you have a person with addictive problems in your life. Family member, close friend, partner, etc. How would this person affect the construction of your life? How were the reactions towards the persons who were sabotaging your tower? Write on the board the reactions and messages. Analyze the negative actions and messages. How is this similar in real life? How do you think addicts feel against negative comments and actions? Do you think negative comments and actions can help them recover? Is this making their situation worse? Can consumers cause problems in family members and close relationships? What other social consequences addictions bring? Self-knowledge tools. Tool to identify addictions. The tool. Tobacco, alcohol, prescription medication, and other substance use offers a complete approach for assessing substance consumption. It is provided by the National Institute on Drug Abuse and has two components. 1. TAP-S, 1 for screening commonly used substances by a person, alcohol, tobacco, illicit drugs, and non-medical use of prescription drugs. 2. TAPS, 2, which is a brief assessment for those who screen positive on the previous screening. It provides the risk level for the substance consumed. These tests can be completed by the patient or the clinician. Once all the questions are answered, the tool provides the risk level of the substance consumed, implications, suggested actions, and additional resources. Carry out a self-assessment using the TAPS tool, available in the following website: https://nida.nih.gov TAPS2/. Were there any surprises in your results? If the TAPS tool provides warning signs in your consumption habits, it is imperative to promptly intervene and get assistance. Ignoring these signals of addiction might cause more harm than benefits, causing devastating results. It is critical to speak honestly and openly about the problem with people you can trust, including family or close friends. Asking loved ones for support may be a great way to get encouragement and finding the right treatment alternatives. It is important to understand that drug abuse is a serious and potentially life-threatening. Unfortunately, many people have tragically lost their lives in this cycle. Tool to identify feelings and triggers of substance use. What substance or substances are you consuming? Explain different scenarios and feelings of how the following categories trigger your consumption. For example, this could be being exposed to a specific situation, remembering some things that happened in the past, hanging out with specific people, current thoughts, etc. In a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about the triggering scenarios you have described? Which was your worst reaction when you were exposed to those triggers? Da. Do you consume after, during, or before being exposed to those triggers? Write some measures to prevent or counteract those triggers. Write some measures for not consuming whenever you are exposed to these situations. Tulhomponia wurtases. Tino paha. Poposte. Tarfafototo is the patakurta potapa. Spudata to teokos patpo. Davutata hatifkora post the packet his stuff is he. Pota pota fonitutis ticus propunat purasahat. Emotional management tools. The 54,321 grounding method. The 54,321 grounding method is an easy way to manage anxiety, panic attacks, and stress by anchoring your awareness in the present moment. This method is useful to manage our emotions and tackle addictions in several ways, such as it controls addictions due to its capacity to make people focus on the present when they are having distressing moments that can lead them to consume, as well as cravings, etc. It is a tool for stress management that supports the recovery path. This technique involves paying attention to people's surroundings and their bodies, reducing also negative thought patterns. It encourages mindfulness, helping persons to become aware of their thoughts and feelings without judgment. Focusing on sensory experiences lead to a calming effect, reducing the anxiety and stress that often trigger cravings and relapse. It helps people whenever they feel overwhelmed, which can empower them to feel more in control of their responses. It aids in self-regulation, making individuals capable to manage their emotions and reactions more effectively. It offers a mental reset, allowing individuals to step back from automatic responses and make more conscious, healthier decisions. Over time, practicing this technique can build emotional and psychological resilience, making it easier to cope with triggers and stresses. The 54,321 grounding method is straightforward and can be done anywhere without any special tools or preparation. Its regular use can become part of a healthy routine, supporting the development of new positive habits to replace addictive behaviors. How to practice this method? Look for a comfortable place where you will not be disturbed. Sit or stand in a relaxed position and take a deep belly breath to start. The 54,321 grounding method is composed by 5 sensory activities. 5 things you can see? Look around to your environment and identify 5 specific items. Example: say aloud or mentally note each item. I see a grey cat, a picture frame, a mug, a desk and a window. Engagement. Tip: try to notice new details about these things that you have not paid attention to before. For example, the small details on the picture, all the drawings of the mug, etc. 4 things you can touch. Touch 4 different objects. Example: touch your cat, your sweater, your own hand and a rug. Engagement. Tip: describe the texture and sensation of each item. For example, the cat is fluffy, the sweater is soft, my hand is warm, and the rug is rough. 3 things you can hear. Close your eyes, if you feel comfortable, and listen for 3 different sounds. Example: hear the sound of a clock ticking, birds and refrigerator working. Engagement. Tip: pay attention on the particularities of each sound. For example, the clock ticks steadily, there are different sounds of birds, the sound of the fridge stops constantly. 2 things you can smell. Identify 2 scents in your environment. If needed, move around to find different smells. Example: smell a scented candle and a plant. Engagement. Tip: describe the smells to yourself. For example, the candle smells like strawberry and sweet. The plant has a fresh scent. 1 thing you can taste. Take a moment to taste something. If you do not have anything at that moment to taste, focus on the taste in your mouth or recall a favorite taste. Example: chew a piece of gum. Engagement. Tip: describe the taste. Example: the gum is fresh and has a taste of peppermint and sweet. Integrating the experience. After completing the steps, take a deep belly breath and reflect on how you feel. Notice if you feel more grounded and present. The empty chair technique. The empty chair technique is a therapeutic exercise developed by Fritz Perls, often used in Gestalt therapy to help people address feelings, conflicts with other persons, individual issues, their addictions, etc. The technique consists of having the person sit in front of another chair and being engaged in a dialogue with an imagined person or aspect of themselves. Through this dialogue, the person has the opportunity to open up and confront another person, the addiction, or their own feelings. The goal is to feel the healing power of forgiveness and acceptance of the past and present. Therefore, when conducted properly, it represents a commitment toward positive change. This technique is useful for tackling addictions for different reasons, such as it is an effective means to confront compulsive addictive behaviors while being in a safe place. The technique not only provides a visual message that the person's actions impact their sense of self, but also prompts feelings and emotions to be recognized and processed. It can address personal matters in an environment that decreases the use of resistance. This fosters change and addresses the targets necessary to succeed in an addiction recovery program. Persons can look at the ways in which their addictive behaviors are affecting themselves, their family, and close interpersonal relationships. It helps to let out bottled-up emotions, providing the opportunity to express hurt, anger, and other difficult feelings directly, rather than indirectly in addictive or destructive behaviors that have consequences. People become aware of the different parts of their personalities, for example, while being under the influence of a substance, versus being sober. This helps them to understand better their motivations and challenges. Many individuals struggling with addiction have experienced trauma or loss in their past. The empty chair technique aids in confronting and working through these painful experiences, which often underlie addiction, helps people to make better decisions and reinforce their commitment to avoid addictive actions. It provides a sense of control and empowerment of their lives. How to practice this technique? Create the environment. Look for a private and quiet space. It is important that you will not be disturbed during the session. After finding this place, set 2 chairs facing each other. Identify the issue. Sit on one chair and take 5 deep breaths. Take a moment to think about the issue or feeling you want to address. For example, a conflict with another person, a decision you are struggling with, a part of yourself that you find challenging, e.g., your inner critic, cravings, etc., a past bad experience, etc. Identify the other person. According to the issue that you want to address, imagine that a part of yourself or the person who belongs to the problem is sitting in the other chair. Start the dialogue. Start to speak to the empty chair as if you were talking to the person or part of yourself. Engaging tips. Speak without thinking too much. The overthinking of what you want to say may block important keys to address the main problem. Trust the process and do not filter your thoughts with what you really want to say. Use I statements to express your thoughts and feelings. For example, I feel sad because I need to understand why this is happening, etc. Discharge your emotions. If you want to cry, laugh, tremble, or yawn, do not hold back and release them. Switch perspectives. After you have expressed yourself, switch chairs. Now, speak from the perspective of the imagined person or part of yourself. Try to personify their perspective and respond to what you previously said. For example, I did not realize you were feeling that way. I have been overwhelmed with the overall situation, etc. Continue the dialogue. Move back and forth between the chairs, continuing the dialogue. Each time you switch, try to stay true to the perspective of the person or part that you are representing. Do reflections. After you finish the dialogue, go to the original chair. Take few moments to reflect on the experience. Engagement tips. Identify each of the points raised and explore the emotions released. Write down any insights or feelings that emerged during the session. Reflect on how this new understanding might impact your thoughts, feelings, or actions to move forward.